In a world where quality business information is needed, we bring you On the Mic with Mike, the leading social enterprise business show in RVA. Join Mike King, the partnership guru, as he delivers game changers in Metro RVA. On the Mic with Mike showcases how business can help make society better. He discusses tech, culture, innovation, best business practices, and highlighting area nonprofits. Join Mike Monday through Friday, because it is the place where the best and brightest come to chat.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to On the Mic with Mike, the premier business radio program around. I'm your host, Mike King, and I appreciate you being here with me. The views expressed here are mine. I have no connection to, support, of, agreement with any other host, information, or ads on the station. I don't work for the station. My program just airs here on a daily basis, and I'm grateful of that. Join me as this cutting-edge show. We uplift the community and showcase RVA in a different way. I'd like to thank our sponsors, Tom Chudley, Credit Card Guy, Andy Taylor and Junk Luggers, Rob White, Fast Signs, as well as Estes Trucking. They're out there helping us spread the word. So you can follow me on social platforms, hashtag Mike King Biz, hashtag On the Mic with Mike. We are the premier business radio program around. It is part of the Mike King Biz Radio Network, which is ESPN Richmond 106.1, 5 to 7 a.m. The Choice 105.3 every day from 2 to 3, as well as International Business Growth Radio. Shout out to my man Bill Eastman and Donna Cundy for putting that platform together. Well, ladies and gentlemen, in this business, this is called a get right here. When you get special guests who come in, all the way. We're on the south side right now. So for us folks from Henrico, the West End, I just like saying that. But all right, so here, forget it. Ladies and gentlemen, Carol Nitz is with us. Welcome.
Thank you, Mike.
All righty, come a little closer to the mic.
Okay.
All righty, so here you are. Okay, this is the elevator pitch. We always go with the elevator pitch first. You're in the sales game like me. I'm masquerading as a talk show host, but it's a straight up salesman working. So give us a sales pitch for your organization.
Well, Mike, at Networking Technologies and Support, we all sell. And I'm vice president of marketing, but I sell every day, just like everyone from our CEO all the way down and branching out. So Networking Technologies and Support, or NTS, as we'll just refer to it, is a IT integration company. We design, build, maintain IT networks. Of course, we're really deep into cybersecurity these days. There's a lot of bad guys out there. And we also do everything from the cabling and the security cameras. So everything to keep your business safe on the internet.
So Carol's here with NTS. So you guys work on a global scale.
We do.
So, okay, we're talking now about security, which is kind of like the buzz that's out there right now. How has the technology changed as we're coming out of COVID? So I know you guys sit around the big table all ready to kill 2020, all of the goals that were set up, and then COVID hit. What did that do to you guys as an organization? And now coming out of it, what's different?
Well, the first thing we had to do when COVID hit was to jump in there and help our business partners that we work with and all of our clients to make sure that their workforce was ready to be working remote. And that was something that a lot of businesses were not set up for. So you had to find hardware for them. You had to be able to set up their VPNs and everything else. So we had to get everybody able to work remote. So that was probably the biggest step that we took in the very beginning.
So because at one point, working remote was a radical idea.
Mike, it was crazy.
It was crazy.
We had 3 employees 2 years ago that worked remote. Now 44% of our workforce is either remote or a hybrid.
How did people look at those 3 people who worked remote? Like,
well, they lived out of state, Mike.
And you know what? I remember working at AccuWeather. Shout out to them. We would leave every week to go to the West Coast because the idea of someone working remote was no.
Remote?
That was remote. And that was not an idea. We asked the CEO of Elephant Insurance, what did he learn from the pandemic? He said he never thought that remote working would work.
I agree.
A month into it, it worked.
It had to work.
It had
to work to keep whatever it took to keep things going and moving and making sure that our clients were protected and ready to go. And of course, that's evolved a lot now. There are some people have come back into the workplace. there are people that will probably always remain remote, and then there's a lot of hybrids. So they're in a little bit of the week and also remote the rest.
When you guys, what did it do from you guys from an organizational standpoint before going into COVID and now coming out of it? What's your organization look like that's different now?
It's probably 180 degrees different. Right after COVID started, there was an opportunity to bring on 2 additional businesses that are right here from the Chesterfield County area. One was Key Web Concepts, and you know Jim over at Key Web Concepts, and they design build internet web designs, and they also do SEO and digital marketing, and they are a whole different piece to our business that we never had before. And then the other business was a computer business, very similar to ours, but with smaller customers. They were smaller in size. So we've expanded our offerings since the beginning of COVID. So that's a little bit different too.
When you guys look out there from an IT perspective now, what is the headliner now? What is the boogeyman, the thing that's worried everyone? Is it security?
It's security.
Now, let's talk about security from a business standpoint. A couple of things that a business should, if they're not doing that today, what should they do?
Have a penetration test done of their network. A lot of people think they lock their doors every night. They go to bed, they think their doors are locked. They forget the door is not locked. And you can go in, you can show them where their vulnerabilities are, what doors are open for people to get into. And it's their job to go in there and either have us or somebody else go in and take care of those things for them. So I think penetration testing is one of the hot things right now. We're doing quite a few of them.
Ethical hacking.
Yes, it is.
That's
white hat.
That's kind of sexy though. It is. Yeah. It's so you're doing something kind of bad, you would think, but you're doing it for the good guys, for the good guys.
Yeah.
You're doing it for the good. Okay. So penetration testing is one that a business needs to be doing right now, because the flip side to that is you think your doors are locked and you wake up in the morning and everything is gone. Maybe it's not gone, but it's in your house and they changed the locks and you're outside.
That's a good analogy, Mike. That's really good. Another thing that people really don't understand is probably the big weakness in their business are actually their own employees, their own people that work for the company.
I've been there.
Yeah, they need to the training and just making sure that that human firewall that you have really stays strong. So they have to learn how to have best practices when it comes to going online. And, I got something yesterday. It was telling me that I was going to have to change my password. It looks so legitimate until you looked at the email address that it came from. And I just send it back to my my network operations center and say, okay, guys, I didn't change my password, but I wanted you to be aware of this so that you can go ahead and eliminate this email from coming into the network. So it's something just for everybody to be aware all the time. Biggest problems usually in a company are your C-level.
Because they ain't listening to nobody. They're not listening.
Exactly.
They think they got it figured out. I mean, it was a long time ago. We used to, put our passwords underneath the keyboard and things like that. But as you say, the weak link is the human factor a lot of times. So when we talk to other security folks, I've learned that security needs to be part of an HR policy.
It does. We have a lot of security things set into our HR, and that for that very reason.
Okay, so that's on the business side. Here I am at home thinking everything is good. Pictures of grandkids, we got the computer there. We can't figure out how the computer knows exactly what we want, what we're looking at. And next thing you know, they're serving us those ads. People don't know what that is. What should someone at home do so that their system doesn't get hacked, or someone grabs their computer and wants, $50 to get the info back?
Most people probably have some type of security on their computer. One thing that a lot of people don't have any security on is their phone. Their phone is very personal to them. Their phone is close to them. They feel like because their phone is in their hand or in their pocket or in their pocketbook, that it's being protected because it's close to them. Not so.
Okay, ma'am. Thanks for you are just a ray of sunshine there. That's Carol with NTS. Okay, so what can a person do to not be vulnerable as far as your phone goes?
Well, you need to put some type of a security on your phone. So you need to protect against malware. And one company that we work with, Sophos, they actually have you can go to sophos.com and you can get a free version of something to protect your phone. So that's something I usually recommend to people. Just go out there and do that. And it really helps a lot. And it'll let you know if there's any problems, if anything has come up, for any reason that you need to eliminate something, or if there's a threat that's come through, you can go ahead and delete that before it starts to infect your network. Because most people have a direct link to their email address and they don't lock their phones. That's another thing. You should lock your phone, have that phone turn off after a minute or so that you have to go in there and lock it, whether it's with a fingerprint identification or with a passcode.
Okay. That's you. Yes, you. I would say you're preaching to the choir, but I need to put that back on my phone because okay, I'm not even gonna get into that, but it is serious. So Mike's here, Carol's here. How can people find you guys out there at NTS?
We're at Networking Technologies. I'm sorry, thinknts.com, www.thinknts.com.
From a marketing standpoint, what are the sweet spots for your business?
In marketing?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we deal so much with other businesses, and we deal strictly really with the IT people in companies. So we're more of an IT to IT type of relationship. In some smaller businesses, we deal with the CEOs or the presidents of the company, but in most instances, it's our IT people talking to another business's IT people.
Back in the day when I used to sell IT in a previous life, and you would go and you'd talk to the IT folks and you'd lay out the plan and they'd say, "This is great. I love it. This is the best thing ever. We'll take it." Then you go across the hall to I always used to say, we used to talk to the bits and bytes folks and they loved it. Then we talked to the dollars and cents folks and they said, "Those guys are crazy. There's no way that we're buying all of that."
I think it used to be harder in the past to get money for IT. And then once other businesses saw that because they weren't keeping up with what was going on or looking ahead, and they were so much focused on the dollars and cents instead of just running their business and letting the IT run everything underneath that. You have to be able to just focus on your business. So I think they started to understand that and have sort of let up on that a little bit. Plus there's other opportunities. When I first started with NTS 14 years ago, most everybody just stroked a check for everything that they were buying, all of their services, all of their hardware. Nowadays, they understand that this hardware is going to be old really soon, and they're not going to invest the money. So they'll do it in a leasing aspect, much more so. So as a service, so hardware as a service.
Okay, so that's what the SaaS is when people see that, because people see that and they're not exactly sure what that was, because back in the day you bought hardware and hardware stayed there. That was a computer that people said, "Don't touch that." What does it do? I don't know, but the guy who was here before me said, "Don't touch it." And so all of a sudden we find ourselves out there looking. So now the hardware is being leased, or a lot of times it's replaced by software. And is it true that you could tell the health of a business by the way their room is wired?
Oh, that's one big telling sign. I know my guys are really crazy about it. They walk into my office, and if they see that all the cords coming out of the back of my computer and down the back of the desk aren't all just set just right and wrapped just so tight, they have a fit over that. So they're really it makes a big difference. You walk in there and you see everything nice and neat and tidy, and it gives you a feeling of confidence.
It does, because it says that things are orderly here. Whether they are, whether they aren't, it just gives that idea. So Mike is here, Carol, she is with NTS. You're listening to On the Mic with Mike, the best business radio program around. We're here on ESPN Richmond. We got to go away for a moment and pay the bills. I always say the microphone ain't free. Plus my grandkids do need stuff. Shout out to Chef Michelle Wilson. I see you out there, Chef. How you doing? Also, Women Speaking Sports. That's a program that we have here on Fridays from 6 to 7. Women Speaking Sports. That's Lisa Tranny, Dr. Danny, Steph B., Danielle Fitzhugh of the world famous Chesterfield Chamber, which we're going to talk about in a moment. as well as Lisa Tranny and Carrie Roth. So they talk sports and make sure it is Black Restaurant Week. So folks, make sure you get out there and check out our good friends over at Mama Michelle's Cafe down in Victoria Square Shopping Center. That's where they are. I rock with them. They support me in the program. So we got to go away for a moment. We'll be back shortly.
Hi, this is Andy with Junk.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there, and they say yeah, and they say there. Cause all I do is win, win, win. And if you going in, put your hands in the air, make them stay there.
Mike with Mike, from Michael Mikes, from the Michael Mikes, Michael Mikes. My name is Isabella, and you're listening to My King Biz. Hubby, that's my scam.
Oh, hello. I'm Louise Keaton from the Whistle Stop Theater Company. You're listening to On the Mic with Mike. Cheers.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to On the Mic with Mike. We'd like to thank Louise Keaton out at the Whistle Stop. Also, that was my granddaughter, right there, Isabella, trying to get the name of the program correct. I don't know what the problem is. It's On the Mic with Mike. Yes, not Mikey Mike, whatever she's saying. But we are the best business. We're the only daily business radio program around. I got Carol, who is from NTS, and the name of that, what's the real name for the business?
Networking Technologies and Support.
Okay, and support is a big part, but you guys support the community.
We do.
You do. You're big time with supporters of the community.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk. And I met you through the world famous Chesterfield Chamber. Let's talk about NTS involvement with the chamber. Your involvement there as well, because you're one of the ones who's really active.
Yes, we started working with the chamber about 14 years ago, and my boss, Bernard Robinson, he's been on the board. I've been on the board. We've been head of committees and working in all kinds of ways to put on different events at the chamber. We go back, doing the wine festival that they used to have was awesome. The gala, which is coming up on the 31st of March out at the Perkinson's Art Center. So a lot of really great stuff. And, working with all the different committees there at the chamber.
What does it mean? So we shout out to Danielle Fitzhugh. She's one of the sponsored programs, really being supportive of us. What is a strong chamber? And we had Mark Bowen yesterday, and he talked about how strong a chamber is. What does a strong chamber do for a community?
Well, they get involved and they find out where are their needs and they jump in there and help out. For years, they've been working with CHAMPS, and do not ask me what it all stands for, but it's helping out the kids in the schools and tutoring with the kids in the schools. It's having that grassroots ability to get into places where they really have some need and introduce some of these like kids to the business community. I started working with the Chesterfield Technical Center back through the chamber years ago, and now sit on their advisory board. And it's so great to see these kids or juniors and seniors in high school being prepared to go straight out to the workforce if they want to.
One of the things that we always talk about is business. I always say business can help society be better. You guys are the prime example of that. When businesses join the chamber, and Danielle says, we're not letting you just join a chamber and be off to the side. You're going to get the emails like you are not really making the most of this opportunity. Talk about from a strictly a business standpoint, what that means that a business can get from being part of the chamber.
A lot of people would say to me, oh, well, I joined the chamber, but it didn't do anything for me. And I said, well, what did you do for the chamber? And there would be this long silence.
Yes.
And the chamber is not going to do anything for you if you don't get involved. So as you do work with the different committees and give of your time and your talents back to the organization, it comes back to you tenfold. I can remember, looking at people and they said, wow, you really have taken that on and done things. And I think it made people in my company aware of the fact that I could organize things and I could lead groups within the chamber, and that helped my career as well. So it's a give and take thing. You give of your time and talents, it's going to come back to you.
So Mike is here, Carol. She is with NTS. They are leaders in the technology field. We've been talking about the security aspect of it. What does the business landscape look like to you now? Like, how are people doing from the business? You talk to a lot of people, local as well as, national and international. What's the business landscape?
Mike, I think that businesses that had a really tough time during the pandemic is probably still having a pretty tough time. A lot of businesses, tended to jump in there and grab hold of everything and work really hard and kind of ride it out and have actually become a little more successful. So some have really, it's really hurt them badly and they may not recover from it. And some did not recover and others are doing very well.
All righty, Mike is here. This is ESPN Richmond. Carol Nitz is here with us. So once again, how can people find you one last time?
ThinkNTS.com.
Okay, and so you guys do have the web strategies part. So they're out there, they build websites, do SEO. So ladies and gentlemen, if you need any type of services like that, make sure you give them a shout because they're doing some really outstanding things in the community, helping businesses thrive better because a lot of times people, when it comes to security, sometimes people get paralyzed by fear.
Don't be fearful.
Don't be fearful.
Be strong.
Be strong because, the downside to it is you may be on the outside looking in of your own information and content. So on the mic with Mike, you can find us here 5 to 7 a.m. Shout out to the Chesterfield Chamber and all the great work they're doing. Yeah, I'm a member. That's true, but they also sponsor Chamber Wednesdays here. So on the mic with Mike, ESPN Richmond, part of the Mike King Biz Radio Network. We got to go. We'll talk to you soon. Have a good day now. Take care.